Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Those viruses are still circulating, and it's important that we are vaccinated and protect our community.
The battle of the bugs. Prevention is the best prescription for cold, flu, and COVID season.
It's been happening every year since the first Saturday after Halloween.
Oh my gourd, it was a smashing good time at the Harvest Hootenanny.
Rain moves into the Maritimes tonight. Rain and showers Tuesday, along with a strong wind for some areas.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening, happy Monday, and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Peno-Palace. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, sick season. Sniffles, sore throats, and sneezes have already arrived in many cases as cold, flu, and COVID make their rounds. So what kind of season are we in for, and how do we protect ourselves and our families from sinister germs? CTV's Vanessa Wright looks at the upcoming season and our best defense against it. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Maria. Well, health experts want people to get ahead of flu or cold symptoms. And like most viruses, prevention is key.
If you've been feeling under the weather lately, you're not alone. Health officials say it's just that time of year.
Runny nose, sore throat, cough. Sometimes people get fatigued. They might have some aches and pains.
Medical health officer Dr. Catherine Brown says we're quickly approaching a season where influenza and respiratory illnesses start to fester. But it's coronavirus that she says has been on the uptick.
What we know in October, we were seeing about 100 cases of COVID-19 a week and just a handful of flu cases. So as I mentioned before, we're right in the thick of COVID-19. We know it's circulating right now.
Which means a push is being made to get more people vaccinated.
The vaccines are safe and they're quite effective. And, I would recommend to anybody who's at risk, really for anyone, for flu season to get vaccinated.
A vaccine campaign by Nova Scotia Health saw more than 50,000 Nova Scotians receive flu shots since October 15th, and over 400,000 received their COVID-19 vaccines. They say another 100,000 people have booked appointments for both. New Brunswick is seeing favorable numbers, too.
We certainly saw, a good uptake at the beginning. We know that there's a lot of vaccine fatigue out there, but, we're certainly encouraging, residents to get vaccinated when, especially people that may be compromised or on medication.
Officials say in any case, it's important to wash your hands, avoid touching your face, and stay home if possible. They hope more people will get vaccinated to see flu and COVID numbers go down.
We certainly don't want to go back to 2020. Nobody wants to go back there. And, it's very easy to forget after it's been gone for a little bit, that the way that it was. But, those viruses are still circulating, and it's important that we are vaccinated and protect our community.
Maria, Dr. Brown says people generally do a good job of managing milder cases of illness on their own, but more severe symptoms should not be ignored. If that's the case, it may be time to see a doctor. Maria?
Good advice always. Thank you, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Wright for us in the news center this evening. All right, time to hand things over to Todd Battis, who's standing by at the anchor desk with a look at the day's headlines. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Maria. We're going to talk about your money tonight, and the federal finance minister was taking part in that long-standing budget tradition today of buying a new pair of shoes. There he is. The Liberal government will unveil its first budget tomorrow. There are a lot of people and a lot of businesses hoping that there is something in it for them. We are expecting a very big deficit to be part of that. We'll examine that story tonight at 6. The City of Fredericton is proposing to keep the status for its property tax rate after 4 years of cuts, and city officials say that decision is directly related to the province's decision to freeze property assessments in 2026. Laura Brown is going to break it down. She'll have an explanation in your newscast. There has been plenty of reaction to a Supreme Court of Canada decision striking down mandatory minimum sentences for accessing or possessing child pornography. Nova Scotia's Justice Minister says it raises serious questions around whether the punishments will reflect the severity of the crime. We'll talk about that in your newscast. Right now, Kalen Mitchell in the Weather Center, and he is watching some weather alerts. Kalen.
Yes, this weather system begins tonight with some rain developing across the Maritimes, but it really rapidly picks up strength as it passes the eastern shore of Nova Scotia tomorrow. So the most extensive weather impacts from this next weather system in the Maritimes are mostly for eastern parts of the region, and then Newfoundland and Labrador are expected to be impacted by this storm system as well. So we have some rainfall warnings that have been issued for both Cape Breton County and Richmond County. This is through the day on Tuesday. 50 to 80 millimeters of rain expected. Some of that will be in the form of downpours, so be careful about reduced visibility, hydroplaning conditions on roads, maybe localized flooding, especially if any drainage systems are blocked up by fall debris. And then wind warnings that are in effect for both Inverness and Victoria counties, as well as Kings County, Prince Edward Island. This is for Tuesday night, and that's when some northwest gusts could peak near 90 kilometers per hour. Though the entirety of the Maritimes will experience northwest winds picking up in strength as we move into and through Tuesday afternoon. Special weather statement out for the rest of PEI and eastern areas of Nova Scotia, including Guysborough, Pictou, and Antigonish counties. Rainfall amounts on Tuesday could be 30 to 50 millimeters with gusts of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour. Now, as I mentioned, this begins with rain developing tonight. That'll be first into southern areas of New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia as these two weather systems come together and combine into one. More on that in the forecast when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. We'll see you just a little later on. Right now, though, it's November, a month where men's health takes the spotlight. With that in mind, Dalhousie University is shining a light on a groundbreaking program aimed at improving the lives of men living with prostate cancer. It's called the PC-PEP program, it's short for Prostate Cancer Patient Empowerment Program, and it's part of Dal's larger global health equity initiative. The project spans 18 grants worldwide, 6 of them in Canada. The funding supports the Nova Scotia-based program, which helps men navigate survivorship and mental well-being after a prostate cancer diagnosis.
The impacts of this work in particular so far have been incredible. They've been able to deliver a rural men's conference and surveyed 130 participants, which is a really large number for a population like that.
So Bennett says while November is often marked by Movember mustaches, which of course is great, awareness goes beyond that. In every conversation, event, and donation helps programs like this one continue to change outcomes for men across Canada and around the world. Good to keep the conversation going. All right, taking a break here. When we come back, it's time for a break.
We're probably trending close to 500,000 people through the gates.
Area 506 Container Village had its biggest year yet. We stop in before they close their doors for the season. That's next. Stay with us. CTV News at 5. We'll be right back.
Celebrate the outstanding class of 2025. The Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame induction ceremony takes place Saturday, November 8th at 7 p.m. at the Lighthouse Arts Centre in Halifax. Visit nsshf.com to purchase tickets.
The second annual Philippine Market was held at Alderney Landing in Dartmouth over the weekend, hosted by the Filipino Association of Nova Scotia. It featured food, clothing, and craft vendors.
Yeah, it's very important to have this event so that everybody can see the Filipino culture and we can showcase all the business owners in our community.
The event also featured live music. The association says it was a lovely celebration of culture, community, and creativity. Well done, everybody. All right, on to our next story here. Now that the calendar has officially turned to November, the tourism season tends to slow down in our region. That includes in St. John's popular Area 506 Container Village, which, as CTV's Avery McCrae shows us, has now closed its gates after a record year.
It's a quiet Sunday at the Area 506 Container Village. But with the sun shining, Akash Dash and his friends wanted to make sure they got in one final visit.
It's like a getaway spot for people from Fredericton. Just a little bit of change in vibes, and sometimes there's like live music and stuff in here. So yeah, it's a weekend getaway, I would say.
But with the calendar flipping to November, the weekend getaways will have to wait until next year. After a record-setting season, the Container Village has locked up its gates for 2025.
We're probably trending close to 500,000 people through the gates at the village over the course of the summer, which is more than we've ever seen since we set up 4 years ago.
The village's success follows a trend seen by many tourism operators across the region. New Brunswick alone saw visitors spending reach $1.8 billion by the end of August, a 7% increase from 2024. The busiest months of the year for this location are in the fall, when the cruise season is in full swing.
We had a few ship diversions, which we were fortunate enough to see some record numbers here locally in terms of cruise passengers. And, you know, our vendors made out really well.
And there is reason to believe the tourism numbers could grow. Last week, the province unveiled a new strategy, one that aims to increase tourism revenue by $1 billion annually. Gracewood believes his site can play a big part.
We like to think that Area 506 has been, you know, a great driver of tourism and a great piece of, you know, product here locally. But at the same time, I think with more support from within the province and around the province and more focus on, you know, bringing people here, then it all points in the right direction.
The gates will open one last time this Thursday, when the final scheduled cruise ship of the season makes the call to the port city. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
They've really created something super special with that Container City.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well done. Congratulations. Time to rest until next year. All right, let's take a look at how things are looking out there right now, because it's been a little chilly, Kaylin.
Well, it is. We're putting the burr in November. What can I say? Yeah, it was a little bit cool, chilly today, but generally fair weather conditions. We're looking out here at a beautiful drone shot. This is the Lewisburg Lighthouse, the Rocky shoreline. I can tell you one thing. That shoreline, it's going to be looking a little bit stormier by tomorrow afternoon and evening, with the winds really expected to pick up for that part of Nova Scotia. And I'm going to have more on that in the forecast after the break.
Welcome back. So NB Power has been hitting the road the past few weekends to help residents better understand and manage their electricity usage ahead of the winter months. The 2025 Energy Learning Campaign offers customers a chance to ask NB Power staff direct questions about how to lower power bills, maintain your heat pump, seal your windows, and other things like clean your air filter. Officials say this setting offers the best opportunity to kind of like teach about cost-saving methods to customers.
There's more of an understanding when you're looking somebody in the eye, and you get people that are what we would call internally subject matter experts. We can take the time to talk to customers in whatever manner they need, whether that's, some people are numbers people, some people are show me people, some people, so the face-to-face offers that, and there's a little bit more humanity to it.
The Energy Education Roadshow will be at the Boyce Farmers Market in Fredericton next weekend and the Bathurst Community Market the following Saturday. So if you're interested, this is a chance to get some face-to-face time. And Kaylin, this is pretty much the time. We were just talking in the commercial break about how over the weekend it did feel a little chillier than we've become accustomed to.
That is true. Actually, I think that's a great idea. Go there and get a little hands-on, looking at ways that maybe you can keep things a little bit more tip-top shape as we head into our heating months. Taking a look at our sunrise and sunset times here as we're looking out at the view from White Point, Nova Scotia. Now the winds are going to be picking up for White Point as well as basically the entirety of the Maritimes as we move into and through Tuesday afternoon. Beginning the strongest of the winds in the region really expected to be felt around eastern parts of the Maritimes, especially eastern PEI and eastern areas of Nova Scotia. Let's take a look at what's going on our weather systems map. So barometric pressure is now in the process of falling. This is two weather systems coming together for us. We have a low pressure system developing up and just off the eastern seaboard of the United States. This is going to be the main part of the storm system that's going to be going on to impact Atlantic Canada. But charging that system up is going to be the arrival of this cold front, which is making its way out of parts of Ontario and Quebec. And there's a fresh round of some colder air just in behind that front. And as that colder air comes into the backside of this coastal low, that's when it's going to rapidly strengthen. And and that's going to happen tomorrow as it's moving past the eastern shore of Nova Scotia, and it continues to strengthen as it moves into the southern coastline of Newfoundland by Tuesday evening. So taking a look at things on radar right now, not a lot is showing up, but the first part of this weather system will be the arrival of some rain developing this evening through southern areas of New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia. That's the part of the Maritimes that gets into the wet weather first. But as we move through the remainder of the evening and towards and after midnight, it's rain and showers that develops across the region. There'll be some fog in there as well, so be careful about some spots of reduced visibility for the morning commute on Tuesday. And especially Tuesday morning, you want to take a little bit of extra caution on the roads if you're in Guysborough County of Nova Scotia, Antigonish County, and Cape Breton, because it's that part of the region Tuesday morning into early Tuesday afternoon that has the highest potential of seeing some downpours move in. Reduced visibility, maybe hydroplaning conditions on the roads. It is possible that a few downpours could reach some eastern parts of Prince Edward Island. Now, by around mid to late Tuesday afternoon, the heaviest of that rain should be clearing to the northeast of Cape Breton. And behind it, there will be some areas of lighter rain, even scattered showers for other parts of the Maritimes. But at that point in time, it's the wind that you're going to really notice across the region, because initially, as this rain comes in tonight and Tuesday morning, the winds aren't particularly strong. But as we move from Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, they really ramp up out of the northwest. And that's because that storm system is strengthening at that point on its way up towards Newfoundland. There'll be widespread gusts out of the northwest, 40 to 70 kilometers per hour, Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night, and the potential of peak wind gusts reaching 90 kilometers per hour on the east of Prince Edward Island, the north shore of Nova Scotia, and areas of Cape Breton. And that's where we find some of those areas underneath wind warnings. Now, temperatures in the forecast for tonight, they're going to be chilly. This is a cold November rain coming in, like the Guns N' Roses song. Temperatures, low temperatures tonight, 4 to 7 degrees, and high temperatures for tomorrow with this weather system as it moves through between 7 and 10. And as I mentioned, it is a fresh round of colder air coming in from the west that's sort of charging this low pressure system up. So that's going to be in place through the middle part of this week. So on Wednesday, we're over to a mix of sun and cloud, gusty west winds, but a little bit of a chill in the air with the high temperatures topping out between 7 and 11. All right, let's take a look at our weather watch for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 9-year-old Jace McNeil. And Jace has sent us a drawing of some of the different types of weather we can see in November, including sun, rain, and yes, maybe even some snow. So, weather watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. And from all of the viewers, we very much enjoyed your Guns N' Roses reference. All right, on to our next story here. A little encouragement now for kids who might be anxious about going to the dentist. As CTV's Maria Saru reports, a school presentation that's making the rounds in PEI helps kids fight the fear.
Ask kids how they feel about the dentist, and some will tell you,
not good.
It can be a scary experience.
Last time I was there, I had a needle right here and I couldn't eat any crunchy stuff.
The magic toothbrush is trying to change that. It's a school presentation approved by the PEI Education Department based on a book by the same name. Author Marlene Bryanton says she used to be nervous about the dentist too.
It can be very, very upsetting when you go to the office and you're so tense. I wanted the children to enjoy their visit.
The story starts with two children meeting a magician. He gifts them special toothbrushes that sing, dance, and teach them how to take care of their teeth.
I learned to brush your teeth up, down, all around, every night and morning.
When the characters visit the dentist, it feels like a fun adventure.
We talk about, the chairs and who's going to be there, what they're going to do. We talk about some of the instruments.
Island dentists say it's making a real difference in their clinics.
We have the book here. When you have a 3-year-old that's never been in a dental office before, they don't know what to expect. Any opportunity such as this book that can help to reduce that impact is great.
Back at Charlottetown's Sherwood Elementary,
I think I can go to the dentist now.
The presentation has done the trick. This big toothbrush and this storybook are off to the next island school on the calendar. Bryanton says the dream is a cross-country run with a French edition first in hopes of fewer jitters. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you, Maria. That is a great idea. All right, time for our final break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, we'll take you to a hootenanny.
It's really mostly, I think, just an opportunity to see one another and to eat some food and smash some pumpkins and drink some cider.
Special events celebrated the end of the harvest season and this year's bounty. Some fall fun next.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Backhanded compliments. And what was said to Peter tomorrow at 7.
And just before that, we do our best to give you a grand $1,000 minute at 7 o'clock.
Welcome back. The annual Harvest Hootenanny took place in Halifax over the weekend. As CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us, it was jam-packed with fall activities and smashing pumpkins.
Pumpkin smashing was on the menu at Halifax's annual Harvest Hootenanny.
Hootenanny's been happening since the farm started, the end of the very first farm season in 2012. The farm was at a different location then, but it's been happening every year since, the first Saturday after Halloween.
Giving children a chance to extend their Halloween fever by dressing in costumes and putting some old pumpkins to use.
The most exciting feature of the event is that kids will bring their leftover jack-o'-lantern and they smash it here just behind me with some rubber hammers, and then we put it in our compost.
From garlic planting to cider pressing, the event at Common Roots Urban Farm Saturday combined fall activities with a chance for people to learn about harvesting.
It's like a nice little place to gather and see some stuff growing and be reminded what season it is, right?
Along with more than 100 garden plots, the farm features a cold storage.
As a big part of that project, we wanted to get feedback on the design and how it could be better, and so we hosted a small gathering this morning of food production organizations, community members, and emergency management organizations to help figure out how best we can adapt this design to be more useful for the city.
But it's really mostly, I think, just an opportunity to see one another and to eat some food and smash some pumpkins and drink some cider and plant some garlic, but mostly just to see one another.
And celebrate everything the fall season has to offer. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa. So much orange and rich, fall colors in that story, and it's also looking like it was pretty chilly that day too.
It's definitely some cider weather out there, that's for sure, or your favorite warm drink. Now, of course, we do have some rainy and windy conditions coming up for the Maritimes tonight into tomorrow, so I'm going to have more on that at 6, and a look at some chilly temperatures that are going to be sticking around through the end of this week as well.
We'll see you, Todd and Katie, at 6. I'll see you tomorrow. The national news is next. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.